Well, welcome everyone to the last day. Lauren and I are so excited to be here with you on this last day and greatly do appreciate, as Dr. Lozano said, having you come when it's a day that you're posting and you're trying to finish up school before things are getting hectic. And I know I've found it really interesting because the last couple of days we've had such a theme around mindfulness. And I really am intrigued by that because I think what we are learning is that it is such an important strategy and tool for all of us. And so hopefully Lauren and I can share a little bit more specific strategy that perhaps you may or may not know a little bit about that really supports some of the other sessions that you all have participated in. So I hope you enjoy it. We really hope that you'll participate in a little practice session that we're going to have later, as well as some, hearing your thoughts later in this, and also, of course, how we can always support you better being a student. So balancing school, work, and holiday stress, striving for mindfulness when life gets messy. And I don't know about y'all, but my life, especially when I was a student, got really messy at times. So hopefully this will help. So the first question for everyone is, do you ever feel like this during the holidays? And I really love the cat one. Let us know, let it stop. I think life can get a little crazy during the holidays, and we want to be sure that everyone knows that this is not just you. This is definitely something, and if you're in psychology, I'm sure you've studied that the time of the holidays can be stressful for so many. It can increase anxiety, it can increase panic, emotions, things like that. And so, especially where you all are trying to balance so many things, whether it's your work and family in school or you're volunteering in school, all of those things can get really crazy this time of year. So we really want to accent that we don't want you to feel like any of these pictures. We want you to have a wonderful and joyful break and hopefully give you some ideas. So we're going to consider how to develop that practicing of mindfulness. We've talked a little bit over the last couple of days what that is, but we're hoping that by learning how to practice it, you can have a more successful balance and bring joy and fun into your holiday break. Get away from the books for a little bit. So why do we think that it's so important for us to mention these strategies, especially for you all during the holidays? And all of you are spending time, you're giving up things in your life to go to school. There are financial considerations for school. It's heartbreaking when 54% of students, drop out of school because they can't balance it all. And that's a lot of students who aren't meeting their goals. And so, and also, as many of us have heard, the APA has suggested that, the holiday season does increase our feelings of sadness and loneliness, fatigue, and even irritability. And to compile on that, when there have been events that have occurred in your life during this holiday season that can make it even more complex, whether it's a bad experience or a death in the family, and different things like that during this season, which I know personally I've experienced as well. And then also 49% of students this year reported in this research that they experience lots and lots of anxiety in general. And so I think it's just a really important time when anxiety can increase that we really pay attention to some of this and not just hear it, but really try hard to practice it to help all of our health be better. So the other things that are associated with holiday stress, as most of us know, is decreased motivation. We just don't want to do it. Decreased morale. We just don't feel like we're good enough to do it. We burn out. It's just too much. I can't go back to school. I just can't handle it. The home stress increases, financial increases. We got to get that perfect toy. And, all of those different things increase negative emotions, and definitely illness and sickness can increase during this time. But what I bet you are thinking, and I don't blame you a bit, although I was a student one time and I had a lot of stressors and I did not have these strategies presented to me, I hope that, these strategies would be good for you, because I can remember back when I was a student, and once I got out of school, I realized I hadn't taken care of my health, hadn't taken care of my emotional well-being, and I had a lot of development and healing to do after I finished my education. But what I bet you're thinking is, well, you're a professor. Seriously, you're not where I'm sitting right now. So I think it's really, really important that you do hear from one of your fellow peers. And luckily, we are very blessed to have one of your Ashford peers with us today. Her name is Lauren Arrasmith. She's a doctoral student. She's working on her PSYD, and she's specializing in health and wellness. And I'm going to give this to her at this time. Take it away, Lauren.
Hi, everyone. So excited to be engaging with all of you today. I'm going to be going over aspects of mindfulness, obviously, from the other discussions that have been started. I'm currently a doctoral student, as she mentioned. I've earned my master's in psychology from what was the University of Rockies as well. So I have been in the environment we all find ourselves in for a while and experienced that stress. As a student working full-time, I know that the holidays can be an especially stressful time. Personally, I battle stress year-round, and especially during the holidays. I'm always trying to find ways to manage that stress, and mindfulness happens to be a stress-free practice to help. So, what is mindfulness? Well, we talk about it a lot. We preach it as people of health. The mindfulness, it can be defined in several different ways. Judgment-free awareness, as it says here, being within the moment physically, emotionally, cognitively, and spiritually. Non-responsive and or intentional awareness during events presently occurring, which means like being in the moment. If something's happening, you're there. In truth, mindfulness, as many alternative medicine practices, has some debate over its true origin and time of existence. But it actually came about originally in Buddhism, but today is not don't worry, we're not really gonna go deep into that, but overall mindfulness can refer to several different aspects of awareness. In any definition of mindfulness, it has the capacity to be a huge influence over health. So today we're going to go over a few different things of where it came from and how to practice it, how to make it work. Go to the next slide, please. So as you can see here, self-awareness and chakras. So chakras is a really great way that I've seen to physically see how mindfulness can go throughout the body and be aware of yourself. As it says here, complex and ancient energy system. Sometimes just being aware of physically how that mindfulness can affect your own body and mind can help translate into those health aspects. As it says here, each of these 7 main chakras corresponds to a name, number, color, and specific area of the spine. From the crown all the way down to your root. Health energy does flow from the bottom up, and we're going to talk about how it compares to some other things here in a moment, but managing emotions and actions sprout from this. So there's a big, huge health aspect in acknowledging where are you rooted? Where have these emotions come from? And as you can see, it's slowly changing here on my screen. Chakras for mindfulness. Chakras influence your mindfulness just as meditation and purposeful breathing can affect these, okay? Whether you use the chakras or you just visualize yourself being rooted and understanding where that comes from, it is a huge influence. Chakras are all about being mindful of one's own self. So the mindfulness of the self can help with harmony, staying grounded in life. I have huge issues with that during the holidays. I don't know about you guys. Self-realization, lowering stress, keeping good health, all the things in balance, right? So the crown chakra, as spirituality as shown before, is also an example of things such as transcendence, mindfulness, and as you can see here in the chart, lowered stress, health, balance, grounding, all these things that we just talked about. As balance is achieved for people within, as a student, as a part of this, group of things that we're all going towards the same place, realization of not only our own needs, but others' needs can also assist in improving your own stress being mindful of others.
One helpful hint, quick, Lauren, we'll tell them is that there are a lot of apps on y'all's phones. It's as easy as pulling out your phone and looking for apps to help you with the meditation and mindfulness and breathing, and we'll look at a little bit more of that.
I totally forgot about that, and thank you so much,
You're welcome.
Peters. Literally, YouTube has thousands of meditation videos as well. They can help you with regrounding and refocusing. And so, as it says here, I think this is a little out there for you. Obviously, you know, speaking about where did chakras come from can be kind of off-putting or weird to some people. And I'm not going to lie, when I first found out about these, I was like, I don't know about this. And so finding this information, such as Maslow's hierarchy of needs, really helped me realize, I know it's back to basics for some of us, but helped me realize what's really affecting me. And looking at this, as you can compare, just as the pyramid align vertically up the body, Maslow's hierarchy of needs are represented in a rising pyramid as well. Maslow's hierarchy of needs, for anyone who doesn't know, is basically the theory that you need a certain level basis to be met before you can move along to the other needs in the hierarchy, before you can focus on those other things that are important to us. These not traditional, basic needs need to be met. So as compared to Maslow's hierarchy of theory, balance and achievement of the differing levels unlocks the journey towards true mindfulness here at the top. Specifically, researchers actually found a correlation between chakras and Maslow's states of consciousness, and each level allows for a deeper understanding of oneself. And to take it even further, acknowledging and understanding how to be mindful of our needs and what needs we need to meet really can help us in combating and understanding where our stress is coming from. So what levels are you not meeting? What is not being addressed in your life that's really causing that root of the stress, the thing that we maybe need to fulfill to move forward? And then this next part is basically, you know, have we ever stopped and thought about it? Do you feel in tune to what your body and emotions are telling you? Do you take the time to be still and listen? Do you actually ask yourself that question ever? It's hard for me sometimes to realize I'm not asking myself that question. As odd as it sounds, how often do we stop and give our inner being time to reflect and acknowledge versus letting the world tell us what's out of balance?
And Lauren, I think you made a great point. One thing I'd like to add is that as someone that is much older, I look back, and had I been more aware, I think as a younger person of some of this, I would have been a better mother. I would have been a better spouse, a better educator. And so by taking care of yourself, you have to let go of that guilt, because I think in the end, when you are a better you, you're a better you for yourself, for your family, for your job. There's just so many things that you can have a much more healthy relationship with if you're okay. So letting go of that guilt that you should come last needs to come first. Let go of that guilt.
As a student, I can say firsthand right now that there are plenty of times where I almost feel guilty for taking the time to ask myself, what do I need? Apart from, gotta get my homework done, gotta study, gotta make sure, I'm taking care of all of that. I forget that it's okay to ask myself, what else do I need?
Absolutely. So we have a little practice for each of you. Yes, and so we put a little note there that, and hopefully this plays okay, because I am very rural where I am, and it's telling me this little signal that says it's unstable, so we'll see, and that's okay. But we did say if you want to turn your videos off now so you can truly relax for 5 minutes, we encourage you to do that. And then please come back on. We'd love to see you again, but we're going to start this. Lauren, do you want to say anything else before we start it? And ask everyone to relax and put your feet on the ground and rest your arms and really just practice real quick with us for 5 minutes.
I was just going to say before we started that things like this is simply a video that you can find on YouTube. There are a lot of resources out there today with the technology. And this is something that I've even done at work during my break. I put my headphones in, I've been sitting at my desk, so I'm not actually physically leaving the stressful environment that I'm in, but emotionally and cognitively, I am putting myself outside of that environment and taking a few minutes to myself.
Absolutely. Very good suggestion. Okay, we're going to try it. Lauren, please let me know if you all cannot hear something on that end.
Okay.
Welcome to your meditation. I'm Dr. Robert Eric Dinnenberg, and I'll guide you through from start to finish. Mindfulness is present moment attention without judgment. For this meditation, we'll attend to our feet with mindfulness, and then we'll move on to the breath in the abdomen, and then to finish, we'll return to the feet. So let's get started. With mindfulness, start to observe your feet. Answer this question to yourself. What does it feel like to have my feet on the ground in this present moment? Explore this present moment experience of your feet. You might notice what it feels like to have your feet in your shoes, in your socks. You might observe different points of pressure presenting to different parts of your feet. And you might notice temperature. Simply observe whatever you notice. There's no right or wrong, no good or bad. Whatever you notice is okay. And anything that takes you away from this noticing is a distraction. Any thought about the future or the past, any worry or expectation, any internal dialogue or judgment, notice and let go. With forgiveness, with patience, notice and let go. Notice and let go. And shepherd your attention back to your feet. And when you're ready, let go of your feet and shift your attention to your abdomen. Here we find the home base for mindfulness of breathing. Observe what it feels like to breathe in this present moment. Explore and discover your own way of noticing your own breath. You might observe a rising of your abdomen as you breathe in, and a falling as you breathe out. Your own way of noticing your own breath might include registering an expanding feeling as you breathe in, and a deflating feeling as you breathe out. Ride the waves of your breath with your attention. Anything that takes you away from your breath is a distraction. Any thought about the future or the past, any worry or internal dialogue, any expectation or judgment, notice and let go. Notice and let go. With forgiveness, notice and let go. And time again, shepherd your attention back to your breath. Back to answering this very simple question. What does it feel like to breathe in this present moment? And when you're ready to transition out of the meditation, return to your feet. This time there can be some movement in your toes, and notice what it feels like to be moving your toes in this present moment. And let this movement transition you out of the meditation. So as your fingers are moving, and if you wish, your body's stretching, you can transition fully out of the meditation. Thank you.
Yay, is everyone still awake and with us?
I just love this voice. Boy, that'll put me to sleep every day.
I needed that today.
Calming, soothing.
Yes, yes, absolutely.
And I think suggesting, reminding ourselves, that was 5 minutes. And they actually have research out there that we won't bore you with that talks about the health advantages of just taking daily 5 minutes to be one with yourself and to hear yourself. And I encourage all of you to try it, at least over the holidays when you can. We do want to share some other strategies. I know that because of time limit, we could really just focus on, or what we chose to focus on was understanding the different energy that flows through our bodies and how that does affect our health. It does affect our stress, and hopefully give you a way to walk away daily and just be there for you. But we do want to share a few things with you. Again, pay attention to your health and your well-being. Prioritize what's most important to you. There was a great discussion about that yesterday in one of the sessions. I think you have to be true to yourself. The question came up yesterday, how do I prioritize? How do I know what's most important? And what I'm going to suggest to you is be true to yourself. Because if you're being true to yourself, your prioritization will kind of fall into place. What's important to you, and know that the better, again, you are when you're taking care of your priorities, the more priorities for others you can take care of. And then find your quiet place and don't feel guilty about taking that break. Example this morning, it's actually very nice here in Oklahoma today, which is very unusual. It's been very windy and extremely cold. And so I was able to go out on our back patio, and I just sat in a chair and let the sun rising hit me, and it was warm. And it was just a great place because, as we all know, sometimes it gets cold and it's yucky outside and the family's here and you can't escape. So, maybe it's a closet. But when you can take those places where it just warms your heart, try to take that break there and take a walk. I know that Dr. McMahon and Dr. Rebuor suggested that yesterday in a session. Just take a walk, get away from everything and everyone. Close your eyes and listen to uplifting music if that helps. One of my favorite things to do is to turn on music in the house and just kind of dance around for a while like an idiot when nobody else is around. It makes me feel much better. Set limits for yourself. We've talked about that a lot over the symposium. Learn to say no. We've talked about that. Take time to process what's bringing you down as well. Really taking that pause and identifying what is upsetting you or what isn't working and what can you do to positively change that situation. Practice the deep breathing when you can. It takes a lot of time to get really loyal to that practice, but taking that little time during this season is a good way to start because it's a time we really need it.
If I can interject on that note.
Yes.
Plenty of students, friends that I have, I don't have children myself, but lock yourself in the bathroom for 5 minutes, put in the headphones, take that 5 minutes. It's really important. Even if your family is full, or your house is full of family for the holidays, take 5 minutes, go into the bathroom with your headphones and just breathe. You'd be amazed how you feel whenever you exit that bathroom. Yeah, we're going back into chaos, but we have the power to take that time, and that's what changes it.
You mentioned a great word too, Laura, taking that power. you have power to help yourself heal and to find that place for yourself. So I think that's an excellent point. For some, reaching out and connecting with others, I think that's one of my bigger mistakes is when I get busy, I don't reach out to people. I don't call my friends. I don't text my friends. I have a little group of girlfriends that we try to talk, and we're across the country. We try to talk, pretty routinely, but they always know I've gotten myself too busy if they haven't heard from me, and they kind of make me do that. So find people that make you do that too when you need it. Stick to your holiday budget. That's another one. We always get in that deal. We feel guilty because we can't get the big gift or we can't do this. I think one of the most amazing gifts I got from one of my kids one time when I knew they had no money was they had gone to the trouble of making bath salts for me, and they made them. And it was something that was just really special to me because I knew it was something that they worried about. Try to eat healthy. I agree with Dr. Ribbior yesterday. We can all have those cookies, but we tend to have a guilt over we ate too much. And I kind of have a little of that left over from Thanksgiving. So trying to eat a little healthier, during the holidays can help. Seek support when you need it. I cannot express this one enough, and be aware of the services that are available here at Ashford for you. I put a link here. Now you can go to the catalog and do a search on your services, but there are people, if you're in crisis, that can help. There are people available to you and people that can just help give advice. Your instructors do want to support you, your leads for your programs. You're always welcome to reach out to them if you need some advice. Your advisors, use whoever you can use, and be aware that they're available for you to help you. Also remember that the holidays are temporary. We can always kind of look forward to that January 2nd when life gets kind of back in ordinary and all the kids go back to school. Just keep reminding yourself if things get too stressful. And remember, just all the eating well, the exercising, and all those things, limiting alcohol, it will help you better address the stress. So just be mindful again about your own needs and where you're at. And then I think Lauren wanted to share a few quick with you.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you. So these are just a few quotes that I remind myself of kind of just refocusing. There's all the quotes in the world, I think, that mean something to us. And find your quote that means that for you, whatever that may be. First, wealth is health. It can be something simple, easy to remember, something about mindfulness. It's a way of befriending ourselves, of our experience. I know that there's so much that goes into our own health during the holidays, as she mentioned just now, but we each can contribute towards this health in our day-to-day and our comings and goings. It's a challenge to make our own worlds better, but that happens one step at a time. This challenge is worth it. I still go through it. I can't tell you, day by day, step by step, I'm getting better and better at it, but it's not a walk in the park. It's not something that comes easily. And I think we need to forgive ourselves and remember that it's a journey. By taking these baby steps towards bettering our own health and world, we may in turn also help make someone else's better as well, not just our own. And I think that's a great takeaway for this holiday symposium is these are skills for you, but you're also giving back, and the holidays are a great time to give back too. And remember, as Dr. Russell Majors put it, that when we take care of ourselves, we're better for our friends, we're better for our family, we're better for our coworkers. So keep in mind that it's not a selfish thing to take care of yourself.
Absolutely. So really, that's all we have. So we'd love to hear your questions, your thoughts, whether it's about the entire symposium and how it's coming together for all you all, or if you've practiced anything. I'm going to show my quick slide here because then I'm going to do a stop share so I can see everybody again, because we want to say also have a wonderful winter break. But I'm going to stop share so I can come back to everybody. And then maybe if there's any questions or discussions, we'd love to talk, especially for Lauren, because she's one of you all.
Stephanie wants to see the sand snowman again because you barely flashed it on the screen.
You'll have to send it to me. I think it would help me greatly during this time of year.
I actually Googled different ways to make snowmen because I know some people don't have snow and some people do. And so I will send that to you, Steph.
Thank you.
But students in the room, y'all have heard a lot about mindfulness. I guess for me, my question for you guys are, are there any big takeaways that you've gotten that maybe you can share with other people in the room that maybe didn't get the same takeaway? I think hearing from each other is the most important. Oh, nice, Adrian.
Oh, neat. I'm actually curious too whether or not students have heard about this mindfulness concept, because it's something that, I mean, and maybe it's just newer in general in our culture, but I didn't know anything about it when I was a student, and it would have helped greatly.
Oh, that's what my deal was, is I never experienced anything like this until I was older. And quite honestly, it was two of our daughters that have really become more aware of that and helped us as adults in our household to develop that. And you know, the other thing that we really developed in our household over the last 10 years has been positivity. And I could do a whole conference over positivity and positive energy and the importance of creating that space for yourself. And just the crazy things that have happened in my own life. So I agree with you, Stephanie. And gosh, yeah, Adrian, talk to us about your coaching. Is it okay? PTSD coaching, Adrian, that's awesome. I'm gonna look through these two and see if I see any other. Ramona Banks, she goes by Felicia All, but she shared a great link if any of you want to pop on that, and that way you can bookmark it.
So I just wanted to say, Michelle, that I've really enjoyed you guys' sessions. For me, the holidays are really stressful for a variety of reasons. My 12-year-old daughter was born with microencephaly and non-syndromatic metopic synostosis, big, huge words. And so she'd had her complete frontal skeletal reconstruction done just right before Christmas when she was born. And then Christmas is the last holiday that we had with my husband as a family 10 years ago. This is the 10th year, so it's a decade, you know, and I've been stressed and I'm buried myself in so many projects. And I mean, because that helps you keep your mind off of everything. But the last 3 days have been wonderful. And, you know, that breathing, that relaxation, meditation, I think I'm going to do that more often. So that's a big takeaway that I got, because it really, I mean, it relaxed me and it felt good. I've never done that before. So thank you guys. You've shared amazing stuff. And I think your club is awesome.
Thank you for your feedback, because I, as a student, can't say any different than you, because I didn't used to do this until I had a class and I started learning more, and I did it once. And that's why I wanted us to include it in this presentation, because you'll talk about it and then no one will go do it. And so I want to make sure you guys experienced it, because after the first time I did it, I was like, oh my gosh, it's just, you release everything and it just feels so
right.
good.
And like when I did it, I'm like, okay, so my feet are actually kind of uncomfortable, you know, so I kicked my shoes off, and then I realized my wooden floor feels cool on my feet. You know, it was just the mindfulness and the thinking about it that you normally don't take the time to ever do that. And then I realized I was taking in deeper breaths and I was more relaxed. I actually almost fell asleep. It was very relaxing.
It's nice. And Jamie, I appreciate that. I'm going to throw out a little challenge. If it's something you end up really enjoying, what would be fantastic, because I will tell you, you have a great presence and a great energy through the video. Those that do this a lot probably know what I'm talking about. Just a really great presence. You know, it'd be awesome for somebody that never tried it before to come back and talk to students next year about this and your experiences with it. And we would love that if you decide you feel comfortable with that.
Okay, yeah. I actually saw the link in the chat box and I've already opened it and I've already bookmarked it to my browser, because I'm going to try and set aside 5 minutes a day. I know one thing that we do with the CHAMPS program is if we're feeling stressed or having a bad day and we're on the phone, just smiling, like putting that fake smile on, it actually boosts your spirit. It makes you feel better. But I never really thought about just feeling relaxed. You know what I mean? So I will definitely be trying it.
Well, I get that, Jamie, because everybody in this room that I work with will tell you I'm you. The more stressed I get, the more stuff I do. I just add it on and I just keep going and I multitask 100 miles an hour. Pamela's shaking her head. Yes, she knows. And I have to step back. And I've done the same thing that you're considering, is I am learning and I'm getting better at stepping back, going, whoa, whoa, whoa. I'm hiding in all of this rather than going to take care of me. So that's awesome. I'm excited.
Yeah, but you know, the thing is with it, when you really have that stress, you can kind of, you bury it because you have so many different tasks going on. You don't think about it, you know, but at the same time, you're putting more stress on yourself. And then you can't just keep stuff bottled up forever, you know?
No.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's fantastic advice to every one of us in the room. Any other takeaways from students or faculty? I know we've got some great faculty here. Kind of always want to do that.
Well, you know,
Don't forget to check out the survey. Sorry, Yvonne. Don't forget to check out the survey that Trevor or Dr. Belcher posted in the chat, guys.
Yeah, we've been sending that survey link out. Want to remind everybody, thank you, Trevor, for doing that, to complete that. We could really use any advice, you know, of any kind to help us to prepare for our next event. We do have one more presentation coming, so as we wrap up, you know, we want to thank again Dr. Rosser Majors and Lauren for their hard work. Anybody else have any comments for them or suggestions or thoughts?
I noticed Adrian posted, and I've heard about this, and I kind of looked into it, but not too much. There is a Calm app that's supposed to be extremely good for these things.
Great. Yeah.
Thank you, Adrian, for that. And Adrian, you actually seem to have a lot of background in this. We'd love to see you present at some point too.
Absolutely.
See if there's any other comments. Yeah, lots of kudos to you, Jamie. So thanks for speaking up there. A lot of people appreciating what you're sharing.
For any of the students who are in this, just as a reminder, and I know that like all the instructors have said this, they're like, please participate. But seriously, it's such a help to reach out as a student and be like, I am experiencing this. Here's what I've learned. It makes a huge difference, not only for other students, but for yourself. If you are teaching someone else how to do it, you're using it more in your own life. So I guarantee that if the focus is put on that, it'll help you too. So please remember that it's awesome to give back. So please give back to future students.
And I will tell you real quick, and then I'll be hushed, but I will tell you, Lauren, when I first asked her if she wanted to present with me, she's like, oh, I don't have time. I just don't think I can do that. It's a very normal response, guys. And I know there's a lot on your plate, but Lauren, I just wanted to say extra big thank you because I know you're at work right now. You had to go hide in a room.
Yes, and I'm not even in the room that I had first thought was going to be available. So yes,
big thank you.
Yeah, and then I got started on it, guys, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is all the stuff I love and the things I need to be doing anyway this holiday time. And then it became fun. So
good job.